Hello guys, and welcome back to another Nukes Top 5 reaction. On this one, we're going to be reacting to Nukes Top 10 Scary Ghost Videos. Y'all gonna be scared. Okay. Weird title. Let's go ahead and, well, like always, the original will be linked in the description. And Nuke's YouTube channel will also be linked in the description. So if you want to check them out, check out any of their other videos, just look in the description. Let's go ahead and get right into the video.
Artist Susie Solmori says that her family lives in a very haunted house in England. The house, which was built in 1902, still contains strange items left by its former owners. But weirdest of all, on the third floor there is a very strange painting that was left there by a previous tenant. Susie says that this painting is the most haunted object in the entire house. She says that often her young niece carries on long, eerie conversations with the spirit, quote, Gilbert, who she says inhabits the painting.
It looks like a kid drew it.
What I heard? I heard that. I heard that. I'm not stupid. I'm very smart. I'm the smartest kid in class. Okay, not really. Do you want this or do I keep it? Okay.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm hungry. It could get cold. You can't touch cold stuff. But I'm warm.
One day, Susie and her brother ask her niece about the spirit, Gilbert.
Did you like him?
Yeah, Gilbert's like one of my best friends.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I think the man that used to live here painted it.
Is Gilbert friendly? Does he speak to you?
Yeah.
What does he say?
Because I don't pray.
And this is the point when things take an even creepier turn, because Susie does some investigating and manages to find an old picture and some info about her family home. What she discovers is downright creepy.
Here is a photo of the house from 1916, and it was built in 1902. So this would be the first or one of the first families to live in this house. As you can see, there are 6 people present in the photo. And looking at the English census records, I found that the father would be called John, the mother was called Maud, and next to her on the balcony is her daughter Dorothy. The birth of a little boy called Gilbert was also registered here in 1911, so he would be about 5 or 6 in this photo. I'm unsure why he's not with the rest of his family in the photo, what they did to him. I just have an overwhelming feeling that something really terrible happened to him at the hands of his own family. The weirdest part is that this is where the sun painting is situated in the house. That's his room.
Things around the house start to get even weirder as one day when Susie is home alone, she starts to hear banging noises coming from upstairs. She grabs her phone and films as she goes to investigate. There is banging coming from inside the playroom where Gilbert's painting hangs. But when she looks inside, there's nothing there. Cut to another night, and as Susie goes upstairs, she again sees her niece doing something a little strange in the third floor playroom. The girl is prying away at the floorboards while singing, "You Are My Sunshine." And remember that the spirit Gilbert is said to inhabit an old painting of the sun. Odd coincidence? Maybe. But after the girl has gone to bed, Susie and her brother go back upstairs to investigate the area of the floor that her niece was picking at. What they find makes their blood run cold.
Looks like it comes up.
Underneath the floor, there is an old Ouija board with a picture of the sun that looks very similar to the haunted Gilbert painting. So is there a spirit named Gilbert haunting the third floor playroom of Susie's old house? And is this spirit sending messages through Susie's young niece? Let me know what you think. We need
That video, how do I put this? Obviously it's fake. And why do they keep filming their niece in secret like that? It's fucking creepy. Very fucking creepy. It's like they're trying to sneak up on her and just take video of her without her being aware. As for the picture, if they had a problem with it, they could have easily taken it down. As for the Ouija board, I'm not sure if anybody else noticed, but they did a pretty good job, but you could still see the lacquer on it. It was still nice and shiny. It wasn't something that's been there for an extended period of time. They basically did a good job on trying to make it look old, but not a good enough job because you can still see the shine of the lacquer from it. So again, the way they were filming her, very, very fucking creepy.
scary videos. So if you see anything that you think would be perfect for the top 5, send it to us at nukestop5@gmail.com. Up on the housetop, an urban explorer checks out a group of small abandoned buildings in the middle of nowhere, deep in the woods of Poland. Eventually, it gets too dark to explore, and he decides to leave.
There's no way that
But
little
hanging
girl
around
wouldn't have
till
heard
after
their
dark seems
footsteps
to have
coming
been
up.
a terrible mistake.
What did he spot? Uncle Fester?
Someone can be seen chasing the now panicking urban explorer, and whoever it is seems to have come from right off the goddamn roof. The urban explorer runs off into the woods to escape, but whoever this strange person is now seems to be following him. Thankfully, the urban explorer makes it home safe and shares his footage on YouTube. A curious viewer points out just how pale the unknown stranger seems to be. Another viewer claims that they too have visited the abandoned buildings and that they also saw this same creepy man. Either way, this strange guy swooping down from the roof to chase the urban explorer away is truly creepy, and it seems like something right out of a horror movie. Ibby.
Okay, so that one, obviously, I don't think it's supernatural. Just get that straight off the bat. The guy there on the roof and everything, and jumping down and chasing them. If they don't know each other, first off, it's pretty obvious that the guy, his purpose wasn't to actually catch or do any harm to the one that was running, to the guy who was taking the video. If they didn't know each other, the whole setup of that thing is to scare the other guy. Basically to get him to go away and not come back. You can tell that by him taking roundabouts, basically staying out of sight and slowly moving closer in an indirect way. If this guy meant him harm, he wouldn't be slowly slouching to the sides. He'd be coming straight at him. It was more like of a stalking motion than a charging motion. So if he actually meant him harm, I think he'd been coming right at him. Well, right at him, except for, instead of trying to scare him into running away. So as I said, if they don't know each other, which is a big if, because the setup is too perfect, and if there's something that perfect in nature, it's usually not natural. So yeah, even if they didn't know each other, the whole purpose of it appeared to be to scare the person away.
And the kitty. TikTok user Ibby is recording a cute video of her cats late one night when something happens that she still just can't explain. One of Ibby's cats goes behind the curtains, then turns around and seems to disappear right into the floor. Now, I'm not even entirely sure what's going on here myself, because even when this footage is brightened, it's hard to find any explanation as to why that cat just disappeared. Unfortunately, Ibby didn't share much about the strange video, but all of her cats seem to be safe and accounted for. So just what is this? I'll leave it up to you. It's cold outside, but you can.
The second part, the supposed cat coming back out, looked more like a reflection than the cat actually coming out. If you look at that part of the floor is reflective. I'm not sure how it was set up, but it's obvious. It's pretty obvious it's a reflection. It's not actually a cat coming out. Interesting video. Not sure how it was done, but wouldn't call it supernatural at all. It just looks like some sort of either issue with the camera or something like that. But the second part of it with the cat coming back out just looks like some sort of reflection.
You can keep warm in some all-new Nukes Top 5 merch. Now, of course, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs. But we also have blankets, pillows, and long sleeves. We've even got stockings and wrapping paper.
Okay.
Anyway, shipping is free, and be sure to order by December 8th to get delivery before Christmas. Go to nukestop5.com to shop now. Or, like whenever you feel like it. Maybe after the video. The Ghost at Granny's. Italian YouTube user Simone Botte says that his grandmother has been experiencing strange, unexplainable events in her home. She says that her TV turns on by itself, windows open on their own, and creepiest of all, she often hears unexplained voices from somewhere in her house. Even though he's a bit skeptical of his grandmother's claims, Simone agrees to spend the night at her house while she's away. He's not really expecting to experience much of anything, but then he also begins to hear creepy sounds from somewhere in the house. What happens next is truly bizarre.
Allora, sono a casa di mia nonna.
All my grandparents died before I was 6, so
Allora, non so se sentite, praticamente sono a casa di mia nonna da solo.
I have no idea what it's like to go to a grandparent's house.
E non so se sentite, ci sono un sacco di rumori che vengono.
I can barely remember when I did when I was, I think it was like 5.
Allora. Vabbè, buio pesto. No, vabbè, la luce non va.
Somebody needs to tighten the light bulb.
Aspetta, devo mettere.
Simone discovers that for some reason the lights upstairs don't seem to be working. So he grabs a flashlight and slowly climbs the stairs in search of the creepy sounds.
Why wouldn't you go straight to the breaker
Perché c'è un gran rumore di vento.
if the lights
e
on an
mi
entire
schermi
floor
non
were not
sono
working?
E quindi... E adesso sembra che ha smesso tutto quanto. Ragazzi, mi sto cagando in mano. Si è aperta la finestra da sola. No, vabbè. No, vabbè. No, vabbè.
Simone is completely alone in the house, but he hears a window and closet door open by themselves. Simone slowly begins to realize that everything that his grandmother has been complaining about is now happening right in front of him.
No, vabbè, ragazzi, io sono terrorizzato, ma proprio nel... Notte. Direi che vado via, perché nei film consiglio sempre questa cosa qua. Quindi non sono più stupido. Ti giuro, non riesco, vi giuro, non riesco neanche a parlare oggi perché fatico. No, vabbè, aspetta. Oh no, vabbè, il letto è fatto. Il letto... Gli sportelli sono aperti. E il letto... Cioè, prima il letto non era così. Era... Non ho la voce, ve lo giuro. Non ho la voce.
What does he mean by his voice is gone?
Ok, no. Ora vado. Mi sembra il caso di proseguire con questa cosa, non so. Ok, il vaso non era lì. Il vaso non era lì. Questo vaso non era lì. Non era assolutamente lì.
A chandelier swings back and forth on its own, and just as Simone is about to leave, he hears movement coming from his grandmother's bedroom. He goes to take a look inside and discovers that the bed covers are now neatly arranged, as if someone came in and made the bed.
What a considerate
Also,
ghost.
the doors of all the cabinets are open. Suddenly, the doors
considerate.
move again, and Simone decides to just get out of there. But inexplicably, a vase is now moved to the top of the stairs.
Adesso sembra che ha smesso tutto quanto.
Just then, Simone hears more movement from the guest bedroom. He decides to take a look inside. And what happens next is downright chilling.
What?
Did you see it? For a split second, a dark shadow can be seen moving towards Simone as he looks inside the room. He freaks out and just makes a run for it. And with that, he decides to stay away from the house for the rest of the night. Over the next 7 months, Simone and his grandmother discovered that the strange paranormal activity in her house might be linked to an old scarf that she won at a church raffle. Simone says that with his grandmother's permission, he threw away the scarf and that the strange activity in her house has now completely stopped.
Why wouldn't you burn it?
Right?
Okay, that image there at the end is something added, but is something added to it, and it's the most obvious thing is it's facing towards the camera, and it's just being slid to the left. It's very lazy. Now, one of my biggest issues with this is all the power upstairs is supposedly off. Why would you not go straight to the breaker? Every part of me in a situation like that, even as I'm sitting here, is saying, go to the breaker. Why would you go upstairs and try to explore in the dark instead of going and flipping the breaker? As for everything else, making the bed and everything, either it was all set up and he did cuts, or he had somebody else there with him. Cuts would probably be the easier explanation. Just nothing about it seemed real to me. Not even the way the guy acted. Why would you not go why would you not go check the breaker?
Of a lifetime. Gustavo Alcaraz from Mazatlan, Mexico is celebrating his 10th birthday with his family in a small amusement park. After gathering his courage, the young boy goes on a roller coaster for the very first time. A total of 8 people get on the roller coaster, all Gustavo's family. His proud mother sits in the front and records a video of Gustavo's first roller coaster ride.
As long as they don't go
But her camera
upside down,
catches something that
I never had
Gustavo
an
and his
issue with,
family
roller
simply
coasters.
can't explain. Something truly chilling.
But since I was a kid, I always had issues going on rides that went upside down. Which is odd considering that I grew up as a carny. I spent my early years on a traveling carnival. I got like no memories from it because I think I was like 4 or 5.
Sí, son 3 vueltas, son 5 o 6 vueltas. Abajo no, abajo, en la parte de abajo no.
¿Y no se cae?
No. La pista.
This isn't a dangerous ride, so At least nothing I've seen of it so far.
Otra.
¡Ay, si no le da recio!
Y fue el señor que se despidió, güey. Así es el juego, así es.
¿Mira un frijolín?
¿Cuál?
You notice how the guy keeps looking back to the last car?
¡Ay, aquí donde va! ¡Me da miedo!
And the kid just said this is where
You
it
see,
scares
none
me.
of Gustavo's family got in the last cart on the roller coaster, and it's empty for most of the ride. But during the second lap, someone or something seems to appear out of thin air. The figure is hardly noticeable at first, but then it seems to transform into a solid person, seemingly wearing all black and sitting all alone. Now, the roller coaster has not stopped a single time to allow for a person to get on or off. So just who or what is this?
You can see the guy
Now, what makes
leaning
this capture
over.
even creepier is that years ago, two people lost their lives on a larger roller coaster that stood on the same land. After the tragic accident, that roller coaster was condemned and dismantled. It was replaced by this smaller, safer, family-friendly ride.
Okay.
So could this be the spirit of one of the victims of the older roller coaster accident? Are they doomed to loop this track over and over? Let me know what you think. No.
Well, unless the spirit of the people before like to lean over and hide themselves in the chair, then I'd say no. A person that was obviously sitting up in the video, before fully sitting up, and the fact that the guy keeps looking back like that, and how the thing always ends up being center screen like that. If something's being videotaped and they're obviously the focus is supposed to be him and the kid, however, the so-called ghost keeps getting center screen, and the guy keeps looking back at the last car. Pretty obvious to me it's fake. I think most people would agree.
Room at the inn. Popular Japanese ghost hunter Shiro from the YouTube channel Kuro Shiro Channel is joined by his friend Tei to investigate an.
Oh, sorry for pausing it here, but never do shit like that in a carnival ride. Never bend over. Never try to undo the safety gear. That stuff is there for a reason. You can get extremely injured or even get yourself killed if you mess with the safety gear on carnival equipment. So be careful. It might be fun to mess around, but no amount of fun is going to matter if you're not alive to enjoy the memories of it.
Abandoned inn in the mountains of Japan. The inn was partially destroyed by a typhoon in 1982. The creepy inn is said to be haunted by the ominous spirit of a woman who is known to linger around room number 208. In an attempt to capture evidence of the paranormal, Shiro decides to leave a static camera recording outside of room 208 while he and his friend explore the rest of the inn. Without them knowing, the camera captures something downright creepy.
I remember these guys. They appear in a lot of these.
Something can be seen moving behind a decaying old Japanese sliding door. The two investigators have no idea what they just captured, so they decide that Tei should go and stay in room 208.
Looks like a guy moved
Shiro
to the
heads off
right
to
a
explore
little.
the basement, so Tei is left completely alone upstairs in room 208. Suddenly something happens that chills
wait
him
till the end.
to his core.
Looks like a guy moved to the right a little and then climbed up on something.
白がなんかやってんのかな。ないよな。もう。 What? もう。 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 What?
Okay, so you got touched. Okay. By the way, guys, I definitely recommend checking out these guys' channels. Well, these guys' channel if you want to.
The investigator is touched by something that he can't see, and he just makes a run for it. When looking back at the footage, it's clear that there's a dark shadow that seems to reach out and touch him, even though Tay says that he didn't see anyone or anything at the time. Then whatever this is seems to follow Tay, this time appearing as a pale figure caught by the static camera pointed at room 208. When the two investigators finally find each other again, Shiro decides that it's time to grab their equipment and just head home. So did their cameras capture the ghost of the woman who is said to haunt the abandoned inn? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
Yeah, these guys' videos are pretty clearly fake, but they're very entertaining. So if you want to check out some videos, I definitely recommend them. Very entertaining videos.
Scare at the Airbnb. Imogene from Alberta, Canada is spending the night at an Airbnb with a friend and her little dog Rosie. Suddenly, Rosie just starts freaking out at what seems like nothing.
Is there a ghost? Is there a ghost? Yeah? What is this first? Where's the ghost? Right there? Where? Where is it?
Did anybody else, when they were growing up, used to joke around about dogs like
Imogene
that?
jokes that the dog is barking at a ghost, and her friend is a little freaked out by the dog's creepy, crazy orange eye shine in the camera. But then things take a very bizarre turn.
Yeah, about dogs like that. Basically, it'd be joking around saying, if they try
Suddenly
to...
the little dog makes a run
I'll
for
wait
it, and a
until the
creepy
end.
dark shadow seems to reach out for her. Emma says that she has no idea just what this strange shadow could be, and she now believes that the Airbnb might actually be haunted after all.
What the f***?
It's
The ghost?
The shadow was the paper. When the dog ran by, you can see it lifting up the paper. That shadow was the paper folding over slightly. If you just think about it for a second, it becomes pretty obvious. Now, what I was trying to say there, but kept getting cut off by the video. This is just a, I guess you call it, I can't believe I'm doing this. I really can't. Trigger warning. Anybody else and their friends joke around saying that if a small dog like that tries to attack you, you can turn it into a game of kicking for distance? I told you it was messed up. I said it was messed up.
Of passengers passed. This next creepy video was recorded by a bus driver in Santiago, Chile. The bus driver is completely alone in a parked bus about to start her shift at 8 a.m. in the morning, but she suddenly realizes that she might not be as alone as she thought.
Since when do bus drivers start that late?
Corre el tiempo. Hay un pasajero sentado en el asiento que va solo, al lado de la puerta. Nos movemos.
If I had to guess, I'd say that's a previously recorded video.
Un pasajero fantasma. ¿Cachan?
Especially from the way she's saying
Sigue
it.
ahí sentado. ¿Ven? Y las cámaras no están paradas.
Just the way
Siguen
she's
moviéndose.
acting here. Yeah. Don't believe it.
¿Habrá sido alguien que se murió ahí sentado? ¡Qué hueva!
A security camera live feed shows a young passenger is seated next to the window behind the bus driver. But when she turns to look, there's no one there.
Look at the windows
The bus
in
driver
the image.
wonders if she might be witnessing a real paranormal event. Unfortunately, the video cuts right there, and it was reposted to the internet without a name or source. So was it a ghost or just a very strange camera glitch? I leave that up to you to decide.
Look at the windows in that image and the windows in all the other images. And you can tell that's just added, that's recorded elsewhere. You can just tell by looking at it. It's very clear. The windows are very clear in some of the images, and like in that image, it's foggy out. You can't really see outside the window. It doesn't even look like it's around the same time.
Watch closely. Urban explorer Jimmy Jimenez has traveled to an abandoned ghost town somewhere in the mountains of Mexico. He stumbles upon an empty and seemingly barricaded house and decides to take a look inside. While exploring, he doesn't really find anything that's strange, just an abandoned house covered in dust and dirt.
You let it out.
But while his back
Now
is
it wants to
turned,
follow you
something
home.
happens that makes you wonder if the house was barricaded for a reason. Something truly chilling. Watch closely.
Face down, ass up. What? What was different? A lot of magazines. Oh, it got tired of face down, ass up. I forgot. They got tired of standing dog.
When Jimmy enters the old abandoned house, a doll can be seen lying face down on a chair in the corner of the entrance. But when he returns later to the entrance, the doll is now seated upright, facing Jimmy as if watching him. The explorer is completely unaware of what has happened, and he leaves the house oblivious to what he just captured.
Creepy doll.
Now, it should be mentioned that this footage has 0 cuts. You can watch it yourself on Jimmy's YouTube channel. Except for a stray dog barking in the background and the sound of Jimmy's own movements, no other footsteps or motion can be heard.
Well, you wouldn't
So
need to
it's a
cut.
complete mystery as to how this doll could have moved. Could it be that something terrible happened in this house? Is the doll perhaps a warning for Jimmy to leave? Let me know what you think. The late
You wouldn't need any cuts there. As for there being no other footsteps, the floor is concrete. As long as you're not stomping around, it's very easy to walk around without making footsteps. I was joking around with the video, but very easy to explain away, especially since he could have had somebody with him, or it might just be somebody else. The doll could have simply been moved. It wouldn't be that hard to do. No jump cut, no cuts needed or anything like that. And since the floor is concrete, very easy to move around without making sound.
night visitor. Sandra Crocker from Lincoln, Nebraska wakes up one morning to find a strange notification from her Ring doorbell camera. The notification says that someone was at her door at around 3:30 in the morning. When she checks the footage, she is shocked.
Oh. Okay.
Something can be seen that seems to exit Sandra's house at 3:24 a.m. The unrecognizable figure appears small and wide at first, but then as it disappears around the corner, it seems to have grown in size and is now dark as night. Some have even suggested that it looks like the dark figure of a woman walking away in an old-timey dress. Now, Sandra doesn't know what to make of the footage, so what do you think this could be? Let me know.
It honestly looks like most of the person was not being picked up by the camera, but there was like a small back piece, like a small white back piece on it, and your attention automatically goes to that piece, ignoring the rest of the image. Since the quality is so bad, I can understand why you wouldn't be able to notice it, but yeah, it looks like it's just your eyes are being drawn to one part of the outfit, and the other part is basically slipping away and being unnoticed. That's how I'd explain what I saw. Again, not an expert, but you can make your own judgments.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video. You can also follow me on the socials and say, hey there, what's up, buddy? Huh. Anyway, hopefully I will see you again next week.
I'll see you again next week, man. Well, not exactly next week, but I'll see you again, man. I always love the views on these. Okay, so that's it for this one. So I will see you guys in our next reaction video. Until then, be safe, have fun.